I decided to do some sewing today because I haven't done it in a while. Well, I did it last week. I didn't finish what I was doing because the needle in the serger broke, and my serger is broken, so I was using somebody else's serger, and then when I was trying to put the zipper on, I broke the serger. It was by accident. So she showed me how I could use my sewing machine to work on the project. So that's what I decided to do. And I didn't do it last week. So I decided to work on it today since I'm home and don't really have much to do after doing the laundry and other chores around the house. So I started working on it. I had to put this, I don't know what it's called because I don't know how to read patterns. So I had to ask for help from one of the ladies from my crafts group at church, Miss Sarah, and she was generous enough to help me out. So she helped me read the pattern and she gave me directions on what to do with my sewing machine. So I put an inner lining on top of the zipper so that when the person like unzips, you won't be seeing the ends of the zipper. You see some of the fabric. I don't know what it's called. I would have given you the name. And then I sewed like the edge of the hood. Because it's a sweater I'm making. I sewed the edge and the edges of the hood so it looks neat and not wonky. And then I sewed the arm into the armhole that was made. So I have two sets of sweaters. One is for little helper and one is for little helper's sister. I feel like it's gonna go either way. The size is XS, extra small, but it's for little girls. So it's going to be little helper's sister. I don't know. It might fit her, but then she might not like it because she doesn't like tight sweaters. She likes like ones that are easy for her to put her arm through. So I hope it's something that she will like because I don't want to make it and it won't fit her. I want it to fit her. And then for little helper, it might be too big for her. So either way, it might not fit both of them, but one will grow into it and the other might not want to wear it because it may be tight. So that's my bad. But this is all for practice so I can do well with my sewing. You all know I started learning how to sew 2 years ago, but it hasn't been consistent because Miss Jeannie, the lady that was teaching me, lives half in Michigan and half in Florida. So in the summer she's here and then she can help me out and we'll meet like once every week to do the sewing practice. But then in the winter she goes to Florida, so I don't get to practice. But now that I know that Miss Sarah in the crafts group knows how to sew, I've been asking her for help and she has been helping me with all my sewing questions and even helping me out with her serger when my serger broke. So that's what I've been up to. All right, so this is me trying to put the arm in. That was the first one was wonky. There was thread everywhere. See, I'm a messy sewer. I'm a messy everything. I'm a messy when I'm doing the dishes. I get a lot of soapy water and foam everywhere. The same way when I was growing up, when we did the laundry, we washed it with our hands. Same way, I will have soapy water everywhere, but then after that, I'll clean it up and the place looks good. With my sewing, I have thread everywhere. I have thread everywhere. And my machine kept. It's not my machine that was giving me issue. It was the thread. It's new thread, so I don't know why it kept on threading itself. But as I kept doing it, I got better at how. Maybe I didn't know how to use the machine properly. That's why. But as I continued to sew, it wasn't tearing as much. I ran out of bobbin thread. I had to wind new thread on the bobbin because I couldn't find my set of bobbin threads. I didn't know where I put it. And then after winding it up, I put it back in. I had to keep on threading. How do you call it? Keep threading the usual thread for the needle also because it kept coming off. So I realized when there's like a bump, when you put two sides of the fabric together and there's a bump, that is when it tears. So as I kept sewing, if I get to a bump, I'll take my time. When I take my time to sew, it doesn't tear up, it doesn't rip up. So I learned my lesson as I was learning how to sew. You can see there's a lot of thread everywhere. I kept I kept trying to like cut as much as I can, but there's still some on there. There's still thread everywhere. Maybe as I keep practicing, I'm going to get better at it, and I'll stop doing all of that, leaving a lot of thread on it. And the thread can actually break the needle. I broke one needle today because I guess there was a lot of thread and it got caught in there and it wasn't moving. So yeah, that's that. But I was enjoying some choral music, and my husband says it sounds like an orchestra in here. I'm like, yeah, that's orchestra music. So that's what I did.